Okay guys, I'm gonna teach you how to do some twix. So I got some clips, I'm doing another tutorial later, so I got random clips. But um ideally you want something that doesn't have that too much movement, like sudden movement, on a more gradual, and you don't like no left to right type stuff. But like simple like eye things like that. These are really good. So what you do, it's really easy guys. It's basically just going frame by frame. So zoom in real quick all the way in and cut up all the frames. Well, you can do it on the go, but I usually just cut the frames all in one. If you don't know your shortcuts, then it's on the keyboard shortcuts. Usually it's the arrow keys, I think default. Okay, now what you want when you're looking for this, uh, look for movement. If there's no movement, get rid of it. Oh, okay, that was weird. Um, if there's no movement, get rid of it. So from here, so that, boom, looks like a little movement. Actually, I can delete that. That's not relevant. See, big jumps like that kind of like messes up, but it shouldn't be that bad. Like, movement. I'll show you how I slow down my stuff personally. There's probably multiple ways in DaVinci, but you know, I'm not that smart. So I do it this way. I actually saw this from someone. I do solid color. I don't have no music on, but you try to sync up to the beat. So let's say the beat was right here and it was marked with the marker. I'll just get it to that. I'd actually make this a compound clip. And when I go to Fusion, this is I would go to first. I would go to optical flow, and make sure on the media you put the, where's it at? Maybe I'm tripping. Usually there's something that says like you could maybe because it's where's it at? Is it rescaling? Optical flow. I put the retime process in optical flow. I don't know if you have to do that, but I think it's just, I don't know. It works for me. Then you want time stretcher. Times, oh, not speed. Time speed, if you could use either one, but I prefer the stretcher. So by default, it's on be on that, and then you just want this to go to where you want it to. Go, boom, and I'll click flow. And you want to clamp edges, or else it's on the time to distort on the edges. Ideally, I want these. So this is how it gets like that kind of warped. You know how it like you see it before, like it kind of like, I don't know, like it warps. I don't know how to explain it. Like when see like for the Mike Evans fight, it warps. Like if you edit it right, like if you know, you know. Anyways, usually this is quite intensive on the computer, so it might take a while. Oh, actually, I forgot the keyframe. There you go. See, sometimes you might want to render in place on these. These will take some time to render, especially with optical flow. See how it warps like that? It looks better, like, this is very, like, not a good clip for this, but it looks better the more you do it. Yeah. See how it, like, warps like that? You want that if you want that slow-mo kind of, like, yeah. And you could also put keyframes on this where it would say you want it to go kind of fast and it's slow, or you want it slow, then it goes really slow, then it goes speed up a little bit again. You can do that with these keyframes right here. And that's pretty much it. And then I'm gonna teach you some tutorials. I'll teach you some transitions, might as well. Video break. Okay, for transitions, wait, let's get these clips. Okay, guys, so once you got some clips that you like, well, actually, Okay, so okay guys, so I'm doing a tutorial on video break. Okay, hello guys, I'm doing a tutorial on transitions, guys. So AV transitions show you how I do it personally. Might not be the best way, might not be the worst way. So I'll just show you how I do it personally. Um, One thing I would like to say is make sure to check out my Twixter videos. So and make sure clips shorter, and they also have a more flow to them and they're less stagnant. Okay, for most of these clips, you want that, and I'll do a tutorial on how. It's basically frame by frame picking what you want. But anyways, I'll make a tutorial on that after this, or actually I already did it, so it'll be up there. Alright, first thing you want to do is go to effects and go up to the top, and it says you want adjustment clip. Okay, you want this adjustment clip to go all the duration of your clip. I don't have anything synced because of you know, I'm not trying. This is tutorial purposes, but you just go by this, cut these up. Okay. Now, when you look for clips or transitions, you really don't want anything that is like doesn't have much change to it. Like, you want a scene change, like unless it's to zoom in on a character or something like that. And at the same time, you don't want nothing too drastic of a change. So, if you go from black to white to bright yellows and stuff, like you also ideally don't want no talking. You want mostly action, and you want it twixed, so where it's ideal. I didn't twix these, I only clicked the first clip, but this, to make it look better, it's better to do that. Okay, so first we're gonna go to Fusion, and we're gonna talk about keyframing a little bit. So this is for absolute new people to even to where I am at. Keyframing, okay, so if you guys don't know, I'll just show you. This is a keyframe. That red, that means it's on, it's selected, and that it's save progress. And if I change these values, we'll see what happens as it's a linear change. Okay, let's put mirrors so you can see it better. See, it has a linear change to where its save progress is. I'll show this with a graph. Okay. See, this is this displacement graph or spine graph. See, this is where the locks are where our keyframes are, and when we play through, it's a linear, just a linear change right there. Now for transitions, you don't really want that. It doesn't have that smooth optical flow type feel to it. So ideally, you want to curve it, and I'll talk about the ease in and the ease out. I'll show these when by the end of this video. Okay, Spectre. We could just do one. Okay, on transform, as a tutorial, you kind of get the idea of keyframes now. So really, you want to get it to, depending on how fast your clips are and what your tempo of your edit, you usually want 10 to 12 frames. Unless it's really quick, then you probably want 5 to 7. You don't really want to do like 3 frame, 2 frames, and like 4 frame like transitions. You can do 1 framers like effects and stuff, but that's not really transition. It looks like a transition, but it's not like moving, nothing really. But you don't want it too short where it's not noticeable, and you don't want it too long where it's just dreadfully long. You know, usually 10 frames to 12 frames is usually good for me, but sometimes it depends on your values. Like if you have a drastic change, you want to put more space in there, and also with your graphing, it won't actually take all that space. So if you would do a 10 frame keyframe, like interval, it usually will take like 7 because of the graph will ease out into it and ease into it. So that to keep in mind too. Okay, let's just do a simple slide. Now you could just go here, set your, usually you want to set a keyframe before you actually do transition, and you want to set it all the way to the end. Actually, it won't go to the yellow part. The yellow part's actually the end. Just go to your arrow keys. Oh, arrow keys. Then double click this keyframe. And these arrow keys are your last saved keyframes, so you can go back and forth without doing all this. So on this, we want to transition. We want to go into the next one. So we want to slide into the next video. Okay. And so this is what we got. So you could just drag your mouse and see what it feels like. Let's actually increase that value a little bit. Won't look super good right off the bat, I'll tell you that right now. When you do some graphing, it'll look a lot better. Okay, now when we go to the graph, this is the ease in curve. So you want to hold left click, and then you want to click S for smooth, and I want to go to the very end, so it's like that with that red, and then I go down, and I want to have like a kind of like, it's like a quadratic, or like it's like the one side of a quadratic. So like it goes like straight up. It's exponential in a way. That way it just like speeds up more. See how it kind of like speeds up to it? You want that speed up at the end because it looks better. Okay, really we could add more. Boom. Okay. So last thing you want to do is, the reason why I put it all the way at the end, because the motion blur won't really stay at the end unless you do it all the way to the yellow marker. So motion blur will kind of like cut out at the last frame, which doesn't look good. Sometimes you don't really notice it, but usually I put this on 3 for motion blur. Let's go to settings and it'll just say motion blur under the transform tab. So now we got that first part of the transition in. We'll see what that looks like. See, that doesn't look that bad. Looks good to me. And then we go to Fusion now. Every transition is in 2 parts. So you get the first part, which is like the ease in part. You want to like start the transition, and then you want to finish the transition. So there's that halfway point separated. So what you want to do now is just do the reverse of what you did before. So you want to set the keyframe. What we at? 33. Let's go like around here. Okay, and we want to change this to where I was actually sliding. Make sure the edges on mirror. Let's do it like around here. That seems about right. And then it looks alright. And then for the curve, it's important that you actually do that. It's like opposite. It's inverse. You actually want to bring this curve up and this keyframe in, because you don't want it to slowly get out of the transition. It just like makes it longer. It doesn't look good. You want to be quick in, quick out. Like, you don't want to be like your transitions like in the middle of the page or something like that, like in the middle of the image. You don't want that. So let's see how that looks. That looks okay. And then we can just add a little bit of motion blur. Motion blurs kind of depend on what you're doing. Larger movements will take less motion graphics to get that blur effect. Let's see how that's look. See, that's just a simple slide transition. Now let's remove the curves. Wait. Okay, let's not remove the curves because I don't want to do this again. But if you were to like mess this curves up and it was this linear, it would not look good. It will not. Trust me, curves really give it that natural feeling. So there's emphasis on the graph and really the graph, and this don't do too extreme values, and make sure you have the right time frame for what you're doing. So you don't want 2 seconds to do like a 3.0 to like a 1 transition on the x-axis. Doesn't make no sense. Now when you're doing like when you're going into transitions to other transitions, you kind of like see how we're at here. You know, this is our stop. Now we want to do is at this point on, I want to start the next transition. So just do the first part just right after. So we could use the same you could add another transition node if you want to separate it and be organized. It doesn't really matter. It will get rid of that keyframe though, just a FYI. So what we want to do now is just do let's do a vertical slide. So we'll just change this to okay, let's see how that's looking. Let's go to see, this is this linear. See, this transition is linear. Let's do some graphing and see how that looks out. Also, if you do like 2 transition nodes, it really like isolates the graph, so it's easier. bring this one down. This is the ease in. You're going into the transition. Kind of looks like a quarter circle right here. Like, that's what you kind of want it to look like. Let's see what this looks like. She has that little immersion bloater. That's what you want. You want that. You really do. It makes it look better. So we'll see what it looks so far. Okay. We're on this one. So, like you just did with the reverse of what you just did before. Transitions. We went down. So you can go either way really, but I like to reverse it. Or actually, I like to keep it the same way. What I'm talking about. I like to keep it the same direction. So I was like get in the middle, kinda, or actually wanna go a little bit higher. Then we're gonna go down like this. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna do this. We're on frame 50. So let's do about 62. About 62. And then let's go this and double click and type 0.5. Boom. Okay. Now let's go. Let's go to the curve. Flatten out. Now you actually want to be on this one. We're going to do the reverse of what we did and bring this one up and this one close. You won't only see it that much because of you can move this back so you see it a little bit more. But you won't only see it because of the background. It kind of looks the same. But let's add some motion blur to this and that'll look better. This one would look good with the slide. So let's do like here. Actually, I just want to be more organized and add another transition, and we'll just start here. We'll want to go into the transition, so let's do a slide. Is it this way? Yeah. I'm just giving you more examples to show you how I do it and maybe some problems that simple tutorials will not give you. Let's do like 0.0. Let's see how that looks. A little harsh there, but we could cut that back a little bit. There you go. This what you do on one side, you do to the other side. Just like basic math. Let's get rid of that. We just want displacement. Man, this graph is so small. And we're going into the transition, so we want to ease in to it. The reason why I have this on this red thing, you could actually go out here and it messes up the curve a little bit. See, you want to kind of have that quarter circle type thing. Let's see how that looked before. Doesn't look so like, I don't know, the blur, you really want to utilize that blur. You could actually up more for the more intense stuff. And the cool thing, these are simple slides. I'll do tutorials on other types of transitions, but this is basic slides, and you could actually incorporate multiple types of transition in one transition. So you could do a zoom out, a rotation, and a slide into it. So this is really intro. Just get your feet wet, and if you enjoyed this video and you found this helpful, please leave a like and subscribe.